And so make us say, or tekabia sikabaya no ditria. And so ya dia shawa adwene say ni tirimu ya dempa o papa abonten so for no hwe make us say abonten so for no bobosi ade behwe o papa open nam for sempa senya sa nam for sem na nka adwuma bi onya yanku anya ka abusua no kanimbuase aka. A son honored his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? That means there is an atmosphere around the figure of fatherhood. And God is telling them that if you call me a father, then something must continue. Everyone you call a father, and that thing is honor. So fatherhood goes with honor. The Bible says that honor your father and your mother. He didn't say honor your good father. He didn't say honor your faithful father. He didn't say honor your handsome father. He said honor your father. Honor goes with the office of the fatherhood. Everybody must understand. This is how generations get blessed. It is the Bible makes us understand that it's fathers that bless. So for a generation to see progressiveness and blessings, we must understand that fathers have their place to take. Unfortunately, there is an attack on humanity, and they are doing everything possible to displace fatherhood and motherhood through this homosexuality system. But we have to understand that there is no agenda and there is no counsel that can stand the intentions and the works of God. No matter how they try, it won't succeed. Hallelujah. But we must find an understanding into that institution called fatherhood. I'm going to break it into two quickly. If you have your pen, write it down. A father is a source of life. Women don't have seeds. They have wombs that collect seeds. The seed that produces human beings are from the fathers. Fathers are sources of life. And a man must position himself knowing, listen, this is why men here and men beyond must understand. You are a source of life to humanity. If fathers are cut off, humanity ceases. It is the men that produce seeds. For every ejaculation, a man produces over 40 million potential human beings. And only one of them fertilizes with the egg of a woman and comes out as a child. So after one ejaculation, 40 million to over 200 million sperm cells begin to swim into one cell. And the first to get there. So you fought a battle with 40 million people. And you won. Your victory began from the womb. Celebrate Jesus. Yeah. Men are listen, never think yourself as a failure. Never think yourself as a weak person. You won a battle with 40 million people before you came. Yeah. So men are sources of life. That is why they carry the mandate to bless. Last Friday I said this. Even in the drunkenness of Noah, he blessed Shem and cursed Ham, and it worked. Never joke with your father. Your father can be David the womanizer, but because of him, God will preserve a throne for you. That is, fathers have a place with God. And everybody must understand. And if you're a father and you know you are a giver of life, then you should understand how you manage your life. Because you are a transferer of life. Every single seed you bring on earth, there is a part of you that enters that seed. And you cannot just live your life anyhow. Because you are a producer. Every man touch your chest and say, from today, I know I'm a producer of life. I will produce beautiful and glorious lives in the name of Jesus. The second thing is that the father is the source of blessing. The source of blessing. Malachi 4 verse 6. The source of blessing. The source of blessing. Malachi 4 verse 6. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. A curse is released when a father's heart turns against a child, and a child's heart turns against the father. The fathers are the institutions of blessings endorsed and legalized by God to keep blessing. Your mother can love you, but it's your father that will bless you. Do I have a church here? Yeah. Yeah. And God said that if fathers and children keep fighting, the next thing the earth will see is a curse. May it not be our portion. Fathers are a source of defense. A source of defense. They take bullets. They are the warriors. They are the fighters. So if you will be a potential father, you must understand that you will be one that will stand to fight, to defend a generation and a family. You have to understand this. In the olden days, it is the fathers that went for war, and the mothers will prepare themselves, waiting for the fathers to come back, and they will sing for them the song of victory and the song of praises. So anytime the fathers were coming from war, the mothers will meet them. That is how come some of the women met them, and they began to sing the songs of David and said, Saul only killed his 1,000, David has killed 10,000. Women were there to celebrate, men were there to fight. So if you are a man, you should know that from childhood you have been made and positioned, and you have to train yourself to be a warrior in life. When the time comes when the woman breaks down, the man must stand and fight. When children lose hope and they don't know what to do, the man must stand to fight. It is the man that will call down the presence of God if the home is dry. It is the man that prays when everybody is weary. It's the man that seeks the word well. It's the man that sacrifices on behalf of the family. It was Job that was sacrificing for his children. The man is a warrior. Listen, every man must transition from a boyish mindset to a mannish mindset. And when you transition, the first thing you see is that I have some people to fight for, and I have some people to defend. Sometimes in defending your children is to make sure you deny yourself some pleasure and luxury so that they will survive. Fighting for your family is denying yourself certain things other people have. You will not have it because your children will need it. You have to understand. Fathers are a source of wisdom. Proverbs 1 verse 8, he says that my son, pay attention to my instructions. Pay attention. So fathers give instructions to sons. They give instructions to children. They give instructions at home. And the same Proverbs 1 says that when the father gives the instructions, the mother makes it a law. So it is the father that gives the command, and it is the mother that ensures that what the father said is a law in the home. The Bible says it's the same in the New Testament, Ephesians 6 verse 4. The Bible talks about how the father should not grieve the children, and how they should not provoke the children, but should instruct them in the Lord. So it is the work of fathers to instruct the children in the Lord. The next thing is that the father is the source of vision. And we all know in Joel 2:28, he says that the sons will prophesy, daughters will do that. And he said the fathers will dream dreams. They will have dreams. They are a source of vision. A camp proverb will tell you what a child will stand and not see, a father will sit and see. If you want to make it in life, if you want to do well in life, locate a father and ask him, what is he seeing? Do I have a church here? On a Father's Day like this, you should be able to test someone and ask the person, what are you seeing? Fathers are for vision. They are able to tell the future. Genesis 49, verse number 1. Jacob called all his children and said, come and let me tell you what will befall you in the future. Your father may not be rich, but he may have an insight you don't have. Sometimes God will bypass you and talk about you to your father. No matter how John was great, his father had an encounter before John appeared. An angel appeared to Zechariah, spoke to Zechariah about what is about to happen. No matter how Samson was strong, an angel had to first visit Manoah and discuss matters with Manoah before. Don't undermine a father figure. Some of us have already tagged our fathers as bad, as evil, as irresponsible. Because of that, we ignore their office in our lives. No matter how bad your father is, these offices still stand. When David was about to depart, the Bible said he called his son, Solomon, and told Solomon his enemies. He said, this guy called Shemaiah, be careful of him. I promise him I won't kill him, but I leave you into his hands. And he said that I know that you are a man of wisdom. Apply your wisdom with him. By First Kings chapter 2, Solomon has not met God to ask God for wisdom, but his father saw and started telling Solomon that, Solomon, I know you have wisdom in you. Why? Because his father has dealt with Absalom, has dealt with Adonijah, has dealt with Ammon. He has sons, but he saw Solomon and saw that this guy has wisdom. So before Solomon met God, a father has sown a seed in his heart that you are a wise boy. So if God should ask me what I want, I will ask what is already in me. I'm a wise boy. It is fathers that see. Am I here with the church at all? Before we laid foundation of this church, my father called me and told me a dream of the church. He said, I have seen it. In a short time, you will be very great. This is what I saw in the dream. It settles the matter. So there, whether I am confused to start a church or not to start a church, I was there when my father called me. He said that I saw you start. This is what, and he mentioned it. He said, I saw a car go to take people from Legon to your church. And it's happening. It's happening. Listen, no matter who you are, you can never outgrow your father. No matter who you are. And the office the Lord has given him, you can never outgrow it. You only have to submit yourself and enjoy the office that God has given. Most of you that have issues and attacking your fathers and insulting your fathers, this is the day you go back, send a message of apology, ask him to forgive you, because no matter how bad he is, his office still stands in your life. You don't joke with it. It is a father that can give you a direction. Whether a spiritual father or a biological father, it is a father that gives direction. Be careful. Be careful. No matter the case you have with your father, God will still stand with your father. Never forget this thing I'm telling you. God will never back a son. God will never do that. He expects the son to honor the father no matter what. That is the key to David's success. When he had the chance to destroy his father called Saul. I'm not talking about Jesse. Saul. And then Saul woke up and saw that David had a chance to kill him. And then Saul said, my son David. And Saul said, you have made me foolish. I know I'm a fool. Sometimes let your own father see he has made his error. You are not the one to tell him. But some of you that stands and attack, and even my mother said this about you, and this is what you are doing, and this is what you are doing. Be careful. I'm telling you, whether spiritual father or biological father, somebody said, my father is not my size. You didn't say my father is not my size. He is a father in the order of God. They are God's representatives at home. Look through scriptures. Every time God wanted to deal with the home, he visited the father. I know, me beura baby. The women may not like me, but whether you like me or not, this mouth, it go talk. There are 5 types of fathers we are seeing today. Let me quickly run through. There are 6, but I'll touch only 5. The first one is the silent father. We have the silent fathers. This generation has seen some types of fathers that we have not paid attention to. We have fathers who have gone through so much pain that they can no more explain themselves again. So they are silent. If you are a child in the home and your father goes to work and come back and quickly come and sleep and is not talking, don't quickly judge your father. You have no idea what he is going through, and you have no idea what probably your mother is taking him through. There are some fathers that remain silent, waiting for their foolish sons that have been attacking them to also marry, and their foolish sons will come back and tell them that you have tried. You have really tried. If this is how women are, you have done well. To stay with our mother for 40 years, you have done very well. Me, I can't handle 3 years. I can't handle 4 years. You have done well. There are silent fathers. And adiana menena montimi nkasa bio. Ono nkwa nanim so obie na no kasa ansem ebehia no. Enti din. Because some of them are totally silent. Anytime you don't really address your case, it's as if say udifo. Anytime you don't talk, you are automatically guilty. And some fathers have gone through so much that this time they are not explaining themselves anymore. Some of them are even shy to explain what they are going through in the hands of their wives. So they just keep quiet. And their families are attacking them. Their friends are attacking them. Their children are attacking them. Their homes are attacking them. Everything is against them. But they are silent because even what they are going through, they are shy for people to hear. May God make you a father that you won't go through such a battle. In the name of the Lord Jesus. But if you are a child here that have issues with your father, sometimes go to your father and ask your father, can you tell me your part of the story? And the day he would tell you, there are some fathers, the reason why they are silent is that the day they will open their mouth, they will cry throughout. And they don't want anybody to know they are crying, so they stop. I was talking to a young man who is a father of 2 children. And the moment I started asking him, why are you doing this? What is happening at home? This guy burst into tears. Started crying to a point that I felt bad. And he said, this is why I don't talk. If I start to talk, I become so sorrowful that I shed tears throughout. There are some men who are only silent, not because they are not going through pain, but because if they open their mouth, they will cry before their children. They don't want to do that. So they just leave their mothers to complain and their wives to complain. And if you're a wife here, let me admonish you. Don't take advantage of the silence of your husband to destroy him before his own children, his own family members, his own friends, because he is not able to tell the side of a story. The first time. The second time. The stressed men, overburdened fathers. If you are here, I'm not talking about fake fathers and forget about it. I'm talking about fathers who are ready to pay the price. Fathers who are good fathers. They are good. They really want to fight to make sure a family stands. Those are the ones I'm talking about. I know there are a lot of irresponsible fathers in town. I know. I'm talking about good ones that just don't know what to do again because the home is not favoring them. It's not favorable. If we start talking like this, the party that gets affected gets some way. Yeah. Yesterday, I received a call from a lady. He said that my husband likes you so much, but anytime you get to a point that you are bashing men and how they should live, he said he quickly shift the video. He quickly shifts the video and then he tells her, let's move forward. You know. Sometimes if you know what our women, let me just talk to you. Sometimes if you know the embarrassment your husbands are going through, children, if you know the embarrassment your fathers are going through, just to pay the fees, just to give food, just to get things working. Sometimes, before you tell your father that go and find a work to do, before you tell your husband go and find a work to do, before you do that, sir, be careful. Be careful. No man is comfortable jobless. Sometimes destiny does not favor some. Why na person na nko no nso eye connected or sorry another 4x4 mu nanka ne magu akire na odo mu na more. Nanso abusuafo okada ene abrabode na duru. Enti what okada so sa no aba beduru fie. And don't judge such a father. If such a father can fight to give something little, the reason why fathers are dying so quick is because of the stress. They don't have anybody to understand them if money is not there. A father can take care of the home for 10 years. Let him lose his job for 6 months. The woman will start one day say, a bad woman, not a good one. A bad woman one day compared to my part of 4. Meanwhile, he has been taking care of the family for 10 years. May God help our homes. May God help our fathers. May God help our fathers. Some are under stress. Some have loaned all around. Agyemang make a catch on. They say, if you have such a father, go back and thank him. Go back and if you know your father did menial jobs, if you know your father stressed himself, work day, night, work day. Some of them go to office and come back as 11 every single day. That is how come you can go to university comfortably. And because they are not at home, you think they don't love you. If they stay home to you, also stay home. If they don't go and come back that time to make sure there is money to pay your fees, to make sure that rent is paid, to make sure that food is given, you will stay home miserable, probably be homeless. But sometimes when they don't come early and mommy is angry, you also join mommy. But when Nimso say one more job we are Sikano enso. Mommy Brazilian help waji salary. Sometimes go back to your father and let him tell you the side of a story. My time is almost up. The unappreciated fathers, they have given all their lives to their children, but they were not appreciated. Somebody calls his father sponsor. You are not my father, you are just sponsoring me. Nobody sponsors for free. Yeah. The accused fathers. Not all men are what our mothers say they are. They have been wrongly accused. And your baby, I was one in the train plan or in the train plan. They have been wrongly accused. Before you attack your father because your mother was accusing him of something, sir, be careful you don't curse yourself. Some men have been evilly, wrongly, terribly accused for nothing. Their children have left them. Their families have left them. They have been insulted. They have been called irresponsible. But every accusation is not true. But they don't know how to talk. It is in heaven everything will be open. And some of you in heaven cannot turn back to your father because you joined the family to attack him. Yeah. Many fathers have been insulted for the wrong reason. Oh, papa, we scapa, ni trimu ne ding. And so make us say, ɔdeka bi a sika baa ya na ɔde tua. And so yɛde ahyɛ w'adwene mu sɛ ne tiri mu yɛ den paa. O papa abɔntensofoɔ na ɔhwɛ wɔ mu. Meka sɛ abɔntensofoɔ na ɔbɔ bosia de bɛhwɛ wo. O papa ɔpɛ namfosɛm paa. Sɛ nyɛ saa namfosɛm na nka adwuma bi onya yɛn ko anya ka abusua no ka nimboase aka mo. Ɛtɔ da yɛ gyegye bibia ho. Muma yɛnkɔ ne in a balance form. And namfosɛm nyɛ but ɛtɔ da nso a ɛnyɛ saa namfosɛm na nka wo nko an survive. Ya damfo bi na boa no de ne fa baabi enma wonya adwuma na onya contract bi a enne de na si ye se saa damfo ne ba ese so odi ni because ono na boa no emma wonya baabi de ne nan si ya enne abusua ni nyina e de omu nan si. You don't rise up to fight your father's associates because you think somebody says it's not good. Be careful. The lonely fathers. The lonely fathers. There are fathers that mothers have successfully driven the children away from them. They are lonely today. Every child sees them as devils. And because of that, have you seen the atmosphere around Mother's Day? And the atmosphere around Father's Day? It is a sign that there is a societal mindset around fathers. That is how come when we don't take care, a curse will strike the earth. There are fathers that are lonely at the gate of their home, at the seats in home, and they call their children. The children are not picking up because they have put a fortified mindset in them about the fathers. But it may be that the fathers meant it so well for the children. It may be. It may be. I'm saying it's not all fathers, but some fathers have been unfairly treated by their own families. They have been rejected by their in-laws, rejected by their own parents because of something they've heard. They've been rejected by friends. Today, a young man was talking to me. He said that my wife has successfully sacked all my friends. Just this morning. Said he has successfully sacked all my friends because he has told all my friends I'm an evil person. And he said that almost everybody he sees that I'm working with, the next thing is to find the person's number and begin to say things I don't know anything about, just to make sure that I will be alone. Say, I will never stay in that marriage. Just this morning. Say, I will never stay in that marriage. He said, I am alone now in life. Everybody think I'm evil. Everybody think I'm bad. Everybody. And there are men like that who can sometimes stand in the mirror and ask themselves, am I that bad? Because every single day, there is a voice in the bedroom saying you are evil. And sometimes they look around themselves and they ask, what have I done? There are men that are asking the same question, what have I done in this life? So if you have a father and you know you are mistreating that father for no reason, I beg you, go back. Otherwise, a double will come after you. Yeah. Don't let your heart turn against your father for no reason. There may be something. There may be something. If you are dealing with people who don't talk much, be careful. By the time you hear their story, it will be too late. And we know that men don't talk much. So let the sons, the daughters, the children begin to hear their fathers out. And there can be peace. If you love your mother and you love your father, you can do something to bring them together. But if you stand at one side, the family will be destroyed, and there may be no future for you. God bless you and help you to stand with your father, to love your father, to care for your father. Not all men are evil. God bless you.
Experience the pure word of God in our English church every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Encounter worship, praise, and spirit-filled teachings that will change your life forever. For enquiries,